community here to, create some web forms and some automated, emails and, pay online, and to be able to speak to the, 18 to 22 year olds who they were targeting, that was, at the time being targeted by, print out a form, mail in a check kind of technology. Mm-hmm. So ran with that, got it up and running my freshman year, built out a sister service, all college laundry, my junior year. Decided to stick with that on graduation in 2011. And between 2011 and when I sold it in 2017, I built it up to like 50 campuses in 12 states.
That is awesome. Nice. I love that. So let's talk about, first of all, before we jump into that, you had mentioned that you, what did you say that you had a degree in economics, but you did evolutionary psychology.
Sure.
So talk about that a little bit and sort of why you chose that.
Absolutely. So I grew up as a math nerd. I loved, taking game theory and linear algebra. I took classes at Duke over the summer in high school, and I loved math. But then I realized that math wasn't going to translate perfectly into business, so I wanted to get into economics, which is like going to teach me about how to make money, right? And I started to learn about, supply and demand, and, that was great. But then I started the business, and I really learned that, you cannot increase one unit of production by changing the straight line down one. And that's just not how people make decisions. People don't make decisions with, straight lines and completely rational thought. And so I started to really kind of dive into like, hey, why do people actually make decisions? And some of those universal coming of age questions, like, where do we come from? Why are we here? Why do we think what we think? And, that led me to kind of the study of human origins and evolutionary psychology, which became and still remains my like intellectual passion.
Which is really kind of cool because it affects everything around you, right?
Absolutely.
It's everything you do. So, so let's talk about where the idea for Freight AI came from.
Sure.
Because your dad also was in supply chain,
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, so this has kind of been an intersection of a few different kind of passions or stories of my life. My dad, like you mentioned, ran supply chain for Fortune 500 companies, and that had us moving around a lot from upstate New York to Texas and beyond. And so some of the people who were coming over for dinner, we're talking about addressable spend and their Six Sigma black belts for maximizing transportation categories, right? So I had some kind of exposure of the huge companies, and then I started the storage business, which is on the ground solving problems, making sure the customer's there, making sure the driver's there,